Okay, well, that's the dirty filter. Not the worst I've seen now. Now we can just pull this breather tube off. Oh, and she's leaking. Yeah, this works great. It has never ran this good. Hey guys, welcome back to Craftsman Garage, and today we have the tractor I have always wanted. This is a Craftsman T3000. It came with the manual, the key, it came with everything. As you can see here, it does have some pretty bad scratches. So the point of this video, or the next few videos, is going to be just restoring this to how it's supposed to look, how it looked from the factory, and make sure that everything is working as it did from the factory. Everything's functioning and looking how it did when it was brand new. So in this video, we got a ton of parts, a whole box of parts to put on this thing, and we're just going to be doing a tune-up. This has a Briggs and Stratton V-twin platinum right there, and then here is the model number 44R877. So yeah, so let's get into it. First thing we're gonna do is take the hood off, so I'll get to that. Or wait, let me just show you how to take the hood off here. So there's supposed to be a hitch pin right there, and there's one right there, so it's a little bit harder, but you just gotta slide those out, and then the hood will come off. So let's try this. I'm gonna go get a hammer and see if we can take it off with that, because it seems to be a little bit stuck from all those years. So I finally figured it out. So there was just one hitch pin right there, but I was thinking that I had to pound those little whatever they're called out. No, it actually, because both of these are going the same way, so that means that the hood just has to slide out this way. So we'll unplug this there, and now I'll set you guys up and see if it gets it off. Yep, just what I thought. Alright, now I got the hood off. Put that in a safe spot. Okay, so now we have access to our big beautiful engine. So with this one, it's a little bit different from some other ones, because this one has a shroud sort of thing here to keep all the air going in. So it looks like those are 10mm or 3/8. So we'll take our trusty Craftsman V20 ratchet and get those off. So that is a 10mm. Now the reason why I say this one's a little bit different is because most of these don't have this shroud on it. I'm not sure if people just take them off or some just don't have them from the factory. But take that off, and you could skip that part. If your engine doesn't have anything on top of it, then you can skip to this part. So now we're going to take the air cleaner cover off. Okay, well, that's the dirty filter. Yikes, that is pretty bad. Not the worst I've seen now. You can use a 1/4 inch or a flathead right here for taking these off. Need 5/16. Yep. So 5/16 for getting these two bolts off right there. One, and there's one like below it right there. Now what's strange is he did start taking, started taking the clamps off or something. He might have replaced this pump. Looks a little bit new. We'll see. And then you can just sort of, you want to take the vacuum line off here if it isn't super old. Okay, well, that's fine. So you want to just lay it off to the side. Now we're going to get a 3/8 to take these off. Okay, so I couldn't find my 3/8 because this shed is kind of a mess. We got a lot of projects, but luckily, if you got a 10 millimeter here, can't really see that, but a 10 millimeter will work with a 3/8 bolt. There's one right there, one right there, and one in the back right there. So, and then it's identical on the other side. So that's all we're doing right now. You need to take your 5/16 again, and you gotta take this cover off. Ooh, those are tight. Okay, so now you got all your bolts out and you got the cover off. So put those bolts in a safe place like everything else. And now you are ready to remove your cover. So there's your engine. Alright, so looking under here, things are a little bit rusty. That is fine. Might go over it with a little bit of sandpaper, but the first thing we're going to tackle is the carburetor here. So ever since I got this, when I started it, I started at choke, which some of these, they like choke, some don't. But I'd start at choke, I'd bring it down to like medium throttle, and it'd be surging a lot, and it'd sound like it's running on one cylinder. And I checked, it's physically not running on only one cylinder. So that means that there's something in the carburetor plugged up. But Butom is a manufacturer of replacement mower parts. They sent me out a carburetor kit. You can see right there, carburetor for this Briggs and Stratton V-twin. So we're just gonna go through that and see what they sent us. What you get in the box here is a air filter. Now I can't use this because this is for a different Briggs and Stratton V-twin, but luckily I did buy one that works with this, so we won't be using this. Oh, they sent us some fuel filters right there, and 2 spark plugs. Nice. Torch spark plugs. So this is just everything that you need to tune up your engine, minus the oil. Let's see what's in here. Oh, oil filter. Alright. Right on. And lastly, of course, the carburetor. Oh, nice. Well, there you go. Okay, so we'll put that aside. And lastly, of course, in the carburetor kit, you get the carburetor. Alright, so that looks nice. Looks really nice. It does look a little bit scuffed up from something. Yeah, this side's a little bit beat up. Alright, let's get to taking the carburetor off. Big thank you to Butom for sending out this carburetor. I'll have a link to their carburetor in the description if you got one of these engines. We'll see if it works. Firstly, you need to take that off. So, what I actually use is one of these. Got from Harbor Freight, of course. And you can just take that fuel line off. Pry it off of there. Now there shouldn't be fuel flowing all over, hopefully. This doesn't have a shut off. Okay, so after just like 30 seconds of figuring it out, I just sort of sandwiched it between the flywheel fan and the air filter connector thing right there. So next what we gotta do is take these 3/8 bolts off. And for this, you can't really fit a normal socket. So what we're gonna do is fit a wrench, and it works perfect. So that's what we'll be using. Now these ratchet wrenches are really nice because you can just use those, but this one won't get in there. So It's gonna take a while, but that's fine. They put thread locker in there. That's why it was so hard. I was not expecting that. Okay. Because I've taken these apart before. They were not that hard to take off. They have some thread locker on there, if you can see. Put those in a safe place. There is still one down there. I'm gonna put my extension on here. We'll see if we can get it. Okay, there we go. So all 4 bolts out now, and we can just take this carburetor off. Now you do have, I want to show you guys here. You do have a breather tube right there that just pulls out, and then this, you just twist it a little bit in one direction, and then it comes out. It's square like that. So then just set that aside. Where are we gonna? Okay, I guess we'll just put it through the flywheel like that. That works. Take this out. Then we can just pull this breather tube off. Oh, and she's leaking. Okay. Huh. Okay, well, let me put you guys on the tripod and we'll try to take this thing off. Okay, so now is a part that's not the most difficult, but it's a little bit. It's getting the stuff off, though. Unplug the fuel shutoff solenoid. There is still a little bit of gas in here, so be careful. Of course. Okay, there we go. And our carburetor's off. So, wow, it actually does not look that bad in there. I'll show you guys. It looks great in there. Looks really clean, really well kept. Just a little bit of oil around there. But that's normal. Okay, so what we gotta do now is drain some of that fuel out. Okay, so we're just gonna drain it into this little bowl thing here. And what that uses is a 1/2 inch to take the fuel shutoff solenoid out. And that's where, oh, sun's already coming out. Where's it coming out from? Okay. Oh, what? Okay, well, anyway, we're gonna take the 1/2 inch right here, just loosen that up. Actually, it's just coming, oh geez. Okay, it's all just coming out from right there, so. And I think it's empty now. Yeah, it's empty now. Okay, never mind. So we will not do that. But let me put a towel down right there. Okay. So, now what we gotta do is take these 4 bolts off right here. So that's what we'll do. Those look like about 7/16. We're just gonna. Oh, geez. Tight. Man, I cut myself already in this video. That was pretty quick. Alright, one out. Now, number 3. Now, these are really tight. Just want to warn you guys because I cut myself on something right there. So be very careful. And number 4. Okay, and now we got that off. So that's great. And this carburetor actually looks pretty clean, which is kind of a shame. It looks pretty good. So, yeah. Now, to proceed, yeah. So, next we have to take this gasket off, which might be kind of a pain. This one's old, so of course the gasket's gonna stick. This one looks like it hasn't been torn into ever, which is a good thing. So no one's messed up the repairs that they tried to do. And then there. Okay, now just get it as much as you can. So now we're gonna have to take these out, and you can just use like a simple 1/4 inch. A few different 1/4 inch sockets will take it off. Wow. Okay, so it is a 4mm, and just take that off. Oh, yep, those are tight. Okay. Now here's why we wanted to get the gasket off, because it's got that little like flange sort of thing, and that wouldn't come off if you had the gasket still on. So that's why you gotta try to get as much off as possible. Now, boom, our carburetor is detached. So this doesn't look too bad. It's definitely a little bit dirty, but I think we're good. So be sure to look and see where the gaskets go. So as you can see, the metal one goes in here first, and then this gasket goes on here on the outside. Oh, actually, wait. Well, I'll show you guys. But there are 2 gaskets that go right there, actually. Anyway, we'll see if we can put this new one on. So, now, when you're doing this, you want to look for differences. So, wait, wrong side. That looks the same. That looks the same. That looks the same. And, oh, there's a difference. Yeah, so this one has just like one part right there, but this one goes up to choke. So I think we're gonna have to swap these and see if we can do that. So I'll get a screwdriver and we'll try to swap them over. Okay, so this is the choke bracket that they gave me, and this is the one that's supposed to be still, and this one moves, or wait, this one moves like this, and mine is supposed to go like that. So we'll see if it'll work. Let's see if it'll fit. Now I did notice this is broken. I'm pretty sure I did not do that. If you guys saw me do that, tell me, because I don't think I did. And okay, it does fit, so that's good. All right, so if you buy this carburetor, it will absolutely work. You just do need to take this choke bar out, or whatever you call it, and then there are just 2 screws in there. This is the brand new choke plate, so we'll put that in. Magnetic screwdrivers are pretty handy. I definitely recommend getting one. And you want to make it tight, but not so tight that you can't take it off if you need to clean the carburetor, or so tight that you're going to strip it, because these are pretty delicate screws. Very small screws at that. So just pretty firm. Okay, so now that's exactly how we want it. So, oh, perfect. Yeah. So it does stop when it's going up like that, which is exactly what we want, it does close and choke all the way with a minor gap right there, but that is normal. And this side moves like normal, so we'll put the put everything on and see if it works. So what we need to do now is open up the gaskets. Yeah, here they are. Put the fuel filter back, won't need that yet. We can just take this old one. You can keep it for parts if you like. I like to do that. I have a few old parts ones. I couldn't get a full correct replacement, or like a rebuilt carburetor from all my parts, so that's why I'm using this, or else I would have just used my own stuff. So the sort of pattern for this is 2. So let's see. So yeah, okay. So on the choke side, you want to have 2 gaskets, the 2 that they give you, and that'll just make an extra good seal. If you use 1, it's gonna get crushed when you're putting it on. You can use 1 if you only have 1, but it's just that much thinner of a seal. And you definitely want to make sure that you're sealing this. So the choke side goes like this, but since it has these little like grooves for the screws, we want to put these on after we get the screws on. But for this side, the throttle side, the sequence for putting these on is let's see, I'm pretty sure, yeah, so it goes like 1, and then this metal piece, wait, this metal piece, okay, so both of these go with the nubs up, and then you put another gasket on, and then that's how you put it on. Oh wait, I didn't show you guys. Well, that's how you put it on. So gasket, metal part, then another gasket. So we'll go put it on. Now we'll put the carburetor assembly back together. And if you didn't see, I know some of you guys might have not seen what, well, you guys didn't see what I was doing, but I'll show you guys. So this side is the side going to the engine. So what we're gonna do is put 1 gasket up with the nubs up like that. I'm not sure why exactly it has the nubs, probably just to differentiate between up and down, or wait, no, actually the nubs go down. Okay, so the nubs go down like that. Zoom out a little bit. Then you have this metal gasket, and wait, actually, just a minute, I gotta figure this out. So I was correct. So you want to make sure that these little bumps are pointing towards the top, so that is the throughout part right there. So it goes gasket, metal piece, and then another gasket like that, and then you can put the carburetor on. It's sort of a strange carburetor setup, honestly, but then somehow get the screws in. So put the screws through. Okay, there we go. So we got 1, so that should make it easier. Give us like another hand. And then get 2 in. Alright, so we got 2 started. So there you go. That's all you need. And then from there, you can just tighten everything up. And then we'll put the next gaskets on. Okay, so now we're going to tighten these down with our 4mm. Now you can make these as tight as you want. I won't make them, I'd make them snug. I'd make them pretty snug. Not super tight, because this, I think you're supposed to use a Torx on this. That's like the proper tool for this. But we're using a 4mm, so it might round it. I'm not totally sure. But yeah, so just until it's nice and snug on there. Alright, so now, since those are in their own little, like, well sort of things, we need to put the gaskets on. So now, since we have the screws in, it's really easy. All I gotta do is just line them up and they go right on. So, we're just gonna put the gaskets on. Make sure that you have the gaskets lined up with the holes. If you don't, then your carburetor is not gonna work at all. So, next, oh, and also, yeah, okay, so these do not work. These only work with like the single cylinder. Don't quote me on that. But since these have their own like red seal right there, we don't need to use these gaskets. So now, all we gotta do is just put this on, and then these nuts on here. And then the last one, oh wait, never mind, actually. So I'm not sure if we'll, wait. Okay, so now generally you want to put the little linkages on before you put this on, but you still can after you put everything else on, like I did. Did mess up a little bit there. We'll see if we can get this choke in without running away from me. Okay, yeah, so we can get the choke in. Pretty easy, a little bit tight right there, but it does work. Now we'll get the last nut on. That wasn't a 1/2 inch, was it? No, 7/16. Take your 7/16 wrench, tighten these up. Okay, there we go. And that is how you replace your carburetor. Now, all you have to do is put everything back together how it was. Okay, so this one is a little bit hard. You just have to, there. Okay, so it's not that hard actually. Never mind. It's just sort of self-explanatory. You just, these little linkages, they're just a little J sort of thing right there. And yeah, so you just sort of maneuver it just to get it in. And this choke, if I can find it here, simply, what you gotta do is snap the choke linkage in, and there you go. Alright, so now we're gonna get the carburetor mounting bolts in. Okay, so once you just got like 2 of them started, then you can start wrenching them down, and then everything else just sort of falls back together. So this is like the hardest bolt out of all of them, just because it's in just such a weird corner sort of thing. Since the ones on the bottom are so easy, you can just take your ratchet wrench right here and just tighten them up. Set to tightening mode, of course. Okay, and now your carburetor is in. So just check the linkages, make sure everything works, and when you slide the choke up, or when you slide the throttle up all the way, it does choke. So that's something you definitely gotta make sure is working. Now we gotta hook the breather tube up and this fuel vent right here. So it's just a square hole right there, so you just gotta match the squares up and then turn it, and there you go. Breather hose, all you gotta do is just sort of wiggle it around a little bit, and boom. So that's just gonna help everything sort of flow through. And now we're gonna get the fuel hose on. Come on. All right, there. And then since you took the fuel pump clamps loose like that, I'm just gonna put them back on. Okay, and now we're ready to get the engine shroud back on. I think it looks fine. Alright, you just gotta sort of condense it a little bit. Make sure that the fan is not touching the shroud. There we go. Okay guys, so the camera actually died, so it's been like 30 minutes or whatever. But I did pause, but I put this on. So all you gotta do is put those 8mm bolts back on. And now I'll put the fuel pump back on. Alright, so once again, it is simply 2 bolts right there. It goes in just sort of its own little notch sort of thing. Like that. Now these are the ones that are just a little bit more coarse thread. So got our 8mm here. Okay. And now we'll put our new air filter in. Since it did not come with the correct one, we'll put this one in. I did purchase this separately. I will put a link to this down in the description. It was a kit of a few things, but that's the only thing we're going to use because Butom sent me the rest. So now we just got to get the cover on, and we'll see if it starts. Alright, so it's probably going to take a few cranks, but we'll see. So, this tractor is in beautiful shape, except for a few things. But, oh, that's nice. Listen to that. I like a nice loud fuel shutoff solenoid like that. Brownie points for Butom. Look, it only has 103 hours. 103 hours. Isn't that insane? And I bought this at 101.5. Anyway, let's see if it starts. Oh wait, need choke. And it's probably gonna take a few cranks just to get the gas in. That's totally normal. There it goes. Boom. Oh my gosh, that aisle's beautiful. All right, let's take it for a drive. I need new wheel bearings. That's what that is. That's what the squeak sound is. It's the wheel bearing right there. or the wheel bushing. Wonder if the choke got stuck. Okay, so I got it down the hill. You could see it was struggling up there. I come down here and I replaced spark plugs, and that was all it needed. So these spark plugs are definitely old. So definitely now it really likes the new spark plugs. And all I had to do was replace the spark plugs, and I did adjust the idle speed screw right there. And all you gotta do is adjust that a little bit. And yeah, so that's how you replace the carburetor on your V-twin. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks very much to Butom for sending out this carburetor. It works great. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Comment if you have any questions. I'll have the links to these products down in the description, and I'll see you guys next time.